Four more games on the way today. Burnley take on Brighton with an 8 and 10 point cushion on the bottom three respectively. Newcastle host a Southampton side looking to bounce back from that hammering at the hands of Manchester United in midweek. Fulham take on informed West Ham before Manchester United host Everton, looking to go level on points at the top. And talking of the table, so Villa, as a result of that win, move up to 8th in the table, 35 points. They're now 3 points off the top 5 with a game in hand. Arsenal stayed 10th on 31, 7 off the last European place, having played a game more than 5th placed West Ham.
At the end, but that's a brilliant response to the defeat in midweek as well.
Yeah, it's a big result here. We haven't played, we've played some good stuff, but we haven't got the results we've wanted at home. So, yeah, delighted with that today. It's hard. We grinded it out, and that's what it's all about, really. You
went off to a flying start. You pounced to a mix-up there, punished them as well.
Yeah, bit of confusion at the back for them, and I've hit it. I think it's come off my left foot, hit the defender, and then gone in. But I'll take that.
That's fine. That's 4 out of 5 Premier League games, four goals in 5 Premier League games, yeah, which is fantastic. But as I said, the boss wasn't happy with the pace of the performance in midweek. You seem to have lifted it. A lot of pressing, a lot of challenges in midfield.
Yeah, I think we were a bit off it against West Ham, and they punished us for that. So yeah, we needed a big reaction today, and I think we showed that out there.
Interesting game because a lot of individual duels on the pitch. So Bellerin against Grealish and Partey and Ross Barkley, they're very important to win those. Yeah, I
think Jack's a great player, and so is Ross, and teams look at that, and I think they double up on them. So it's finding a way to try and get the ball to them as quickly as possible, and try and make them create things. You've got a game in hand and a few of the clubs above you, so this puts you right back in that mix for Europe, isn't it? Yeah, I think, just focus on the next game, as cliche as it sounds, but, Europe's a long way away, so just keep plugging away and hopefully see where we are at the end of the season.
Well done, Ollie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, what a valuable goal it was in the end. It's 4 in 5, as you mentioned in the interview, and that came after a 9-game goal.
I think sometimes if you just concentrate on, we saw there, he stays in the middle of the goal. So if a chance does come by a bobble or something unexpected, he's there to finish. And once you get one little side foot or a little scruffy one like he's done today, then all of a sudden you start getting the ones that go in the top corner and your confidence comes back, you start freeing your foot up when you're striking it, all of those things. And I think that's a big lesson for any youngster who's coming into the game and struggling a little bit. Keep at it, keep making the runs that get you the goals, and if you don't get them, they'll come sooner or later.
The fact that came after only 73 seconds, was the Arsenal defence not quite on their game at that point?
Yeah, I think, Cedric made a mistake. It was his first touch of the ball. It's come to him, he's a little bit sloppy with it, and you think, oh, it's not too bad because Gabriel, at least he's there, but then he makes a mistake of thinking he can get to the ball. So instead of dropping off and waiting for the striker to come, and then as we talked about Holding, Rob Holding would probably look at that and go, why is he having a go at me for that? I couldn't do anything. It's what goes on before the actual ball comes to him to assess the situation. As a defender, you've got to be putting fires out all the time. You've got to be, right, if that happens, I've got to be there. If this happens, you've got to be a pessimist. And I think he was looking, going, I've got a man, it's fine. But what he should have done is look at the box and goes, there's no one else here, so I can go really tight on him. And that just stops the position. If he has a little look round there and realises no Villa player in the box apart from Watkins, he can go, right, I go tight. If he makes a run behind me, I can kind of block him. So you get really tight. The time to mark space is when there's lots of players in the box, and you have to do that job, because if the ball goes in, someone else will put it in.
Yeah.
But he's the only one there.
Arsenal trailing 1-0 at half-time then. I'm not sure whether you got the response you were after in the second period, but they did have a couple of chances. Odegaard and Pepe in particular.
Yeah, it was a little bit better second half. Saka went out on that left-hand side. He created a bit of space, and we know when he gets into a position like this, they'll pull the ball back. Odegaard doesn't need to go into the box. He waits for the ball. It's a little bit short, the ball, so in the end he has to go towards it. But I think his positioning that he takes up on the edge of the box, you think, yes, left foot, can I get a good strike on it? Yes, he does, but his chest is just leaning back a little bit. Just see there, and that's what gets the rise on the ball.
Good pressure from Trezeguet to kind of help with that mistake.
Rachel, what about Pepe's opportunity?
Well, the fact that both of these chances came really late on, but this occasion, yes, Pepe, it's not his preferred foot, it's his left foot, which is why he takes this touch and goes inside, or attempts to. just needs to get that ball into the danger area that Rob Holding before we saw was trying to prevent the ball getting into. Second 6-yard box, whip it in behind the retreating, a defender sliding in to try and cancel it out, can go in the goal, attacker, but another wasted opportunity.
You talk about Arsenal's next few games. Have a look at this in terms of their fixtures, because you did mention, Lee, that soon the narrative could change to where we were not that long ago.
Yeah, they were on a great run after a poor run, and they were doing really well, and then you get that result against Wolves where you think they could have won that game, and really disappointing. And then you look at the next ones. They've lost 2 on the trot now. They've got Leeds at home. That could be any score you like. Could be 5-all. Could be anything. Then they go to the Europa League. Then they've got Man City, Europa League again, then Leicester. And Rachel will tell you it's no fine trip to Burnley away. Then Tottenham, West Ham, that is a tough fixture list. When you're coming off the back of 2 results, you think, how did we lose those 2 games? But they've lost them. So the pressure then starts to come on the players, the coach. Players start to tighten up a little bit. They're not as free. And then you get into a run. So you've just got to make sure that when you get an opportunity to pick points up, like they have done today, because they've had a majority of the ball and they've not been able to put it in the back of the net. So, disappointing.
Rachel?
It's a heavy run as well, isn't it,
Yeah.
of games? You know, a game every 3 or 4 days, flying abroad for games as well. I mean, has Arteta got the squad depth? Probably not necessarily either to be able to cope with that. So, with the calibre of teams they're up against, the congestion within this next fixture period, absolutely the narrative could change around Arsenal.
For Villa, it's a very different story. They're up to 8th after that win over Arsenal. Let's get the thoughts of their manager.
Because in midweek you said you're off the pace. You seem to set the pace today.
Yeah, no, I said to them at the start that we'd gone away on Wednesday from being a good team, and the values that we'd had in being a good team was about the work ethic, the team shift, being a good teammate, and I thought we saw that in bundles today against a really good offensive team.
And you pressed and forced the mistake, so you pounced on that. It was a sort of lightning strike very early and a huge lift for everybody.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I thought we started the game with a really good intensity, and I thought that set us up really well. We, got onto throw-ins quickly, took them quickly, tried to block them in when we could, and it had to be a good defensive performance at times because they've got very good players and very good offensive players, but their goalkeepers made some really good saves as well.
Now, I was talking to Ollie Watkins. There's a lot of duels all over the pitch. Barkley against Partey, Grealish against Bellerin. You had to win those.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was 2 teams that at the start of the game were set up, man for man pretty much, and you have to go and win them battles first and foremost to allow yourself to play. And really pleased with the players today, the way they competed all over the pitch, but went and helped the teammates when they needed to as well.
There's a couple of individuals at either end. Ollie Watkins, he has the knack of being in the right place at the right time, doesn't he?
He has. I mean, he's in double figures for goals now in the Premier League, which is, fantastic for only 21 games. But the distance he covers in a game is tremendous at high speed. I don't think any centre halves this season have had a second to rest on the ball when he's about, and he's got a good knack of knowing where the net is.